Hello guys, welcome back to TFD. The Caitlin Clark takeover just keeps getting crazier. She has officially taken over West Virginia. Caitlin mentioned on the Butler game broadcast, "I never thought I'd be on a split screen with Caitlin Clark of all people, but it's just so cool to see her success. It's so fun to see her impact she's had on women's basketball and sports in general." But right now, it's Caitlin Clark doing the taking over. She's got West Virginia buzzing with the Butler Bulldogs, and it doesn't stop there. She's taken over State Farm, teaming up with Chris Paul and Jake like it's nothing. The takeover continues on every level: college gyms, national brands, social media, the whole thing. And you know who else is looking to take over? That's something we're about to get into. But first, let's talk about West Virginia. We've got Caitlin Clark walking into this tiny gym, classic tournament vibes, but it doesn't matter. Small gym, big spotlight. Everywhere she goes, the crowd follows. The energy jumps and the cameras turn on. Caitlin Clark is becoming the moment.
Okay, so Caitlin Clark is right there in the middle of the crowd, functioning like it's nothing. We're not too cool to be among the people. We're not too good to stand shoulder to shoulder with the fans. And look at this gym, bro. That's a small gym. That's not even high school status for real. But that's the beauty of it. These little tournament gyms end up hosting the biggest moments. Caitlin walks in and instantly the whole place shifts. All right, let's take a look. Listen to the telecast and watch how they talk about her.
Well, look at what we have here today at the Greenbrier. Just a couple of Miss Iowa basketballs 20 years apart. Ann O'Neill, the great Ann O'Neill of Iowa State, and Caitlin Clark. Of course, her long career in Iowa, that terrific journey, becoming the Division I all-time leading scorer. But I'll tell you what, you were a heck of a shooter in your day, too.
Hey, okay, I never thought I'd be on a split screen with Caitlin Clark, of all people, but it's just so cool to see her success, whether it was at Iowa, Dellin Catholic, the University of Iowa, the Indiana Fever. It's just been so fun to watch her impact she's had on women's basketball and just sports in general. And she's right here in Greenbrier with us.
Yeah, Dellin Catholic, she, of course, from West Des Moines. Now you are from where in Iowa again? I should know this.
Yeah, I know. I'm from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And I misspoke earlier about Jack saying Iowa City High, and that is a no. I got to say Iowa City West. These are all like really big time 4A, 5A schools in Iowa. So don't tweet at me. I'm just saying they are amazing, McCaffrey family, and known for all their shooting prowess.
Ann O'Neill was Miss Iowa basketball. That's pretty lit. Oh, and McCaffrey out here playing in this game too? All right, okay, yeah, Caitlin is definitely taking over. She walked into that tiny Butler Bulldogs gym and had it on lock in seconds. Snap of a finger, boom, whole building shifted. And now we gotta check her out in this new Chris Paul commercial. Caitlin Clark popping up again, making the commercial lit as usual, turning a simple cameo into a whole moment. The takeover just keeps leveling up.
Home, auto, State Farm agents are here for your questions.
Chris, you retiring?
Want to help with this question?
Allow me to assist.
Dad, are you retiring? Oh, puppy. What's your name, little guy?
Tell me, you retiring?
Oh,
it's mascot Jake.
So everyone says you're gonna retire. Is it true? You can tell me.
Is this metal?
Are you going to retire?
Oh, the cameo? Yeah, it's lit. It's lit. That's straight fire. Caitlin Clark just took over the whole State Farm commercial. It's not even Chris Paul's commercial anymore. This is officially a Caitlin Clark commercial now. You hear me? She walks on screen for 2 seconds and the whole vibe shifts. This is what's happening right now. She's taking over West Virginia and taking over State Farm on the same day. Same day. From tiny gyms to national ads, Caitlin is everywhere, and every appearance turns into a moment. The takeover is real. Now let's move to today's big news. WNBA players may have rejected new CBA salary offer. But first, look at this. It states the WNBA is reportedly willing to raise the Supermax to $850K per FOS. Salaries can climb past $1.1 million only if revenue-sharing bonuses hit. Earlier this week, word emerged that the WNBA had offered its players a new collective bargaining agreement that included a maximum salary of over $1 million a year, a landmark figure in a league where the salary cap is currently just $1.5 million per team. Multiple sources familiar with the league's labor negotiations said that the numbers are misleading. While salaries can reach a maximum of more than $1.1 million in the league's offer, the base Supermax contract would still pay between $800,000 and $850,000 annually, as was the case in early October. The $1.1 million figure represents combined earnings from a base salary and additional potential revenue sharing, the league sources said. Under the league's offer, no player would sign a contract in 2026 with a base salary of $1.1 million. Anyway, a proposal went out, and it kind of slipped out after the fact. The WNBA owners started pushing it like it was this big-time supermax deal worth $1.1 million. That's how they framed it. Sounds huge, right? Sounds like real progress. But once you dig into the details, it wasn't really that. What they were actually offering was around $850,000, with bonuses and escalators that might get it close to $1 million if everything breaks right. So when people realized it wasn't a true $1.1 million base salary, the kind of guaranteed number players have been fighting for, the shine wore off real fast. Suddenly, the offer didn't look nearly as good as advertised. And it didn't take long for the union to respond. I talked about football earlier to describe how these deals sometimes get tossed around, and this is a perfect example. The union basically punted this thing right back into outer space. They didn't just reject it, they launched it into orbit. It's simple. It's not going to work. The players know their value. The league tried to dress up the numbers, but the union saw right through it and shut it down immediately. Let's look at this. The Women's National Basketball Players Association does not view the WNBA's latest collective bargaining agreement proposal as something that moves negotiations forward, sources told espn on Thursday, 10 days before the current CBA is set to expire. The league's proposal, first reported by the Associated Press and confirmed by ESPN earlier this week, includes a revenue-sharing component that, in combination with a base salary, would allow players to earn a maximum salary of more than $1.1 million, an average of more than $460,000, and a minimum of more than $220,000. I'd say those parts are a little easier to deal with, honestly. Some of the smaller details, you can work around those. That's fair. But what you can't really work with is this idea that players have to hit like 7 different bonuses just to creep their way up to that so-called $1.1 million. That's the problem. It's not real money unless everything hits perfectly. You'd basically need a miracle season to touch that number. And that's not what players are asking for. They want a true base, not a fantasy total built on bonuses. It says in 2025, the league's minimum salary was $66,079 and its supermax was $249,244. But sources told ESPN the players' union does not believe the league's proposal includes a system where the salary cap and player salaries sufficiently grow with the business, a long-standing demand of the players since they opted out of the current CBA in October 2024. The players do not want a fixed salary system and instead want one based more directly on revenue, such as in the NBA, where the salary cap is determined by basketball-related income, BRI. The league previously said in a statement it has proposed significant guaranteed salary cap increases and substantial uncapped revenue sharing that enables players' salaries to grow as the league's business grows. The union responded in a statement that said the proposal put lipstick on a pig and retread a system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues the players. In the current CBA, the salary cap increased annually by a fixed rate, 3%, coming in at $1,507,100 in 2025, and a separate revenue-sharing provision called for direct payments to players if the league hit certain revenue targets. It means they've got to turn a profit, and honestly, I think that part's fair. What's crazy is that a lot of these players are acting like it's fine for the owners not to turn a profit. That's the wild part in all this, because under the current CBA, that profit trigger hasn't even been activated once, not a single time. Why? Because the league lost $40 million last year. And here's where things start feeling a little fishy. We still haven't heard how the league did financially for the 2025 season. Not a whisper, not a leak, nothing. For 2024, the news about the $40 million loss came out around November, if I remember correctly. So the fact that we're sitting here, same time of year, and still don't have numbers, yeah, that's suspicious. But trust me, somebody's going to leak it. And if I had to guess, it might be the owners. Because think about it, if the owners come out and say, we still lost $12 million as a league last year, that absolutely strengthens their case. It proves their point. It shows they're still operating at a loss, even with bigger crowds, more attention, and record-breaking interest. That's leverage, and they know it.
Here's said. Last month, the two sides agreed to a 30-day extension through November 30th. So that's where things stand right now. The players took one look at that proposal and said, nah, that's not going to work for us. And honestly, I don't know where this goes next. You just hope cooler heads jump in and get this figured out before it turns into a lockout. Because a lockout? That would look terrible. A lockout has a real chance to damage this league in a way that's hard to recover from. I'm just letting you know. This is the kind of moment that can make or break everything.